Today's question, do you need to do high intensity interval training to burn body fat? The answer to that quite quickly is no. The reason this became a very popular topic was I suppose a corruption of a study known as the Tabata study. Well, it wasn't known as the Tabata study, but basically one of the researchers was called Tabata, and he did this protocol on cyclists in Japan where he got them to cycle flat out for 20 seconds with 10 seconds rest, and did it 4 times. And it was brutal. And the thing was, they showed that they burned a lot of calories after training. But for anyone who's gone flat out sprinting on a bike for 20 seconds, that is awful. And the lads who did it, the participants who did it, it took a long time for their heart rate to come down. So although that's the reason they burn more calories, is that it's called excessive post-exercise oxygen consumption. Basically, your body has to work extremely hard to bring you down to homeostasis, or your baseline, pretty much. So they were heaving oxygen, their temperature was up, and their body had to work really hard to bring down their stress levels basically back to homeostasis. So this is where the concept of high intensity interval training kind of birthed, or that idea that if you push people very hard and give them very short breaks, they'll burn a lot of calories, which it's kind of true, but it's just like, with regards to the best method for people to lose body fat, it's not really that great, because the thing is, you do burn calories from it, but you have to work very hard, which can be quite uncomfortable. And when you burn a lot of calories, and if you're not in conjunction with you don't aware of calories, your appetite goes up. So you just you might eat all the calories back. So the best form of training, as always, for weight loss is the form of exercise you enjoy, that you will keep doing, and that will get you results in that form of exercise. High intensity interval training is just a method of training, and some people enjoy the style training and they should maintain doing it. There are health benefits, of course, to doing it in your training. It's very good for your heart health. To do an anaerobic session once a week is very good for your heart health. It's very good for your cardiovascular system in general. And it can both add to your actual other training modalities, whether it's strength or hypertrophy or aerobic training, and it can improve your body composition, and all in conjunction with diet. But the key here with all training modalities is your diet is the thing. You cannot lose weight unless you're in a calorie deficit. Now, your training, your diet might have you in maintenance where you're not losing any weight, and your sudden uptake in exercise puts you into calorie deficit because you're burning more energy than you're eating. Spot on. But nothing is particularly better for burning calories than other things, because there's hundreds of thousands of success stories and hundreds of different methods of training, and everyone has different successes. And I think a lot of people need to look at the most extreme outliers in regards to physique stuff, and that is fitness models, and that is pro bodybuilders, male or female. And their job is to have as much muscle mass on their frame and have as little body fat on their frame possible, while looking good. And of course, that's subjective. That's the whole sport of bodybuilding. But that's their job. And you will see that they all have very similar, 80% of their stuff is very similar, where they do the training to get their muscle on their frame. But their methods for losing body fat is literally calorie deficit and what they enjoy. And I think a lot of people get hung up on this method is better than that method, or this thing is better than that method. Training is something that you should generally enjoy, as part of your life. And if it's high intensity interval training is what gets you to the gym or gets you exercising, spot on, keep it up. If it's, long steady state aerobic stuff like going for a run or a cycle, keep it up. If it's weight training, keep it up. If it's strength training, keep it up. Do what you enjoy in regards to training that keeps you going. No one method in isolation, in longer terms, is better than other methods. In isolation, you can present it that it's better, great, but that doesn't take into account of psychological things of doing it long term for years and things like that. And the reality is, high intensity interval training is just one method of training that has its own benefits, but it is by no means the best method for you to lose fat. The reason that trainers, I suppose, encourage it maybe is just it makes people feel like they did something. Your heart rate's up, you're burning, you're tired, you're sweaty, you feel like you did something. So maybe it gives you that placebo effect where you're like, oh, that was a great training session, when in fact Although that high intensity interval training, the other session was only 5 minutes, the last 40, 55 minutes were the main like meat and potatoes of that workout, and they were the ones that did all the work, but you feel better leaving the training. And that's where a lot of people get confused with high intensity interval training as well, is that it's recommended because it's short and brief and it makes you feel like you've done something, when in reality it might not be the best thing for you to regards to lose weight. So if you enjoy high intensity interval training, like I said, keep it up. If you dislike it and you're like, oh, I can't face one of these again, and you're just doing it to losing weight, skip it, ditch it, do another form of exercise, and just make sure you're in a calorie deficit and you'll lose weight just fine. All right, guys, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below. And as always, we'll talk to you later. Cheers.